नमस्कार दोस्तों, आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे रेड के बारे में। रेड होता क्या है? व्हाट इज रेड? रिडंडेंट एरे ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट डिस्क। रिडंडेंट एरे ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट डिस्क होता क्या है? रेड और रिडंडेंट एरे ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट डिस्क इज द डेटा स्टोरेज विजुअलाइजेशन technology that combines the multiple physical disk drive component into one or more logical unit for the data redundancy, performance improvement, or both. It is a way of storing the same data in different places on multiple hard disk or solid state drive to protect data in the case of a drive failure. A RAID system consists of two or more drivers working in parallel. These can be hard disk, but there is the trend to use the SSD technology, solid state and drive, and RAID combines the several independent and relatively small disks into the single storage of a large size. The disk included in the array is called the array members. The disk can combine into the array in different way, which are known as the RAID level. Each of the RAID level has its own the characteristics. One is the fault tolerance, another one is the performance. In fault tolerance is the ability to survive one or several disk failure. Performance shown the change in the read and write speed of the entire array compared to a single disk. The array capacity is determined by the amount of user data written to the array. The array capacity depends on the RAID level and does not always match the sum of the RAID member disk size. Calculate the particular RAID type, capacity, and set of the member disk. You can use a free online RAID calculator. How to use the RAID calculator? The RAID system can use the several interfaces including SATA, SCSI, IDE, FC, fiber channel. Some systems use the SATA disk internally but that have a FireWire or SCSI interference and the host system. Something disk in the storage system are definitely JBOD, which stands for the just a branch of disk. This means that those the disk do not use the specific RAID level and act as the standalone disk. This is often done for the drive then contains shape file or spooling data. Then after, how to work RAID? RAID work by the placing data on multiple disks, allowing input-output operations to overlap in the blended way, improving performance because the various disks increase the mean time between failure. Storing data redundancy also increase fault tolerance. RAID array appears to the operating system as a single logical drive. RAID employ the technique of disk mirroring or disk splitting. Then the disk mirroring will copy identical data onto more than one drive. Another one is the disk stripping. Partitions help spread data over the multiple disk drive. Each drive storage space is divided into units ranging from the 512 byte up to the several megabyte. The strips of the old disk are integrated and addressed in order. Another one is the disk mirroring, and disk stripping can also be combined in a RAID array. Then levels of RAID. कौन कौन से लेवल्स होते हैं RAID के? Many different. आपके दो हैं क्या? क्या है? Many different ways of the distributing data have been standardized into the various RAID levels. Each RAID level is offering a trade-off of data protection, system performance, storage space, number of level has been broken into three categories: standard, nested and non-standard RAID levels. Then the standard RAID level. One is the standard RAID. RAID 0 strip डिस्क, जिसको स्ट्रिप डिस्क बोला जाता है. इसके अंदर क्या होता है? RAID 0 इज टेकिंग एनी नंबर ऑफ डिस्क and merging them into one large volume. It will increase the speed as you are reading the writing from the multiple disks at the time, but all data on all disks is lost if any one disk fails. An individual file can then use the speed and capacity of all the driver of the array. The downside of the RAID 0 through it is not redundant. The loss of the individual disk will cause the complete data loss. Thus, RAID type is very much less reliable than having the single disk. Like that, RAID 0 stripping two blocks, block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and drive 1 and drive 2. Then there are the really situation where you should use RAID 0 in a server environment. You can use for the cache or other purpose where the speed is essential and reliability data loss not matter at all. Another one is the RAID 0, RAID 1. It duplicates data across two disks in array, providing the full redundancy. Both disks are store exactly same data at the same time and at all times. Data is not lost as long as disks survive. The total capacity of the array equal to the capacity of the smallest disk in the array at any given instance. Content both disks in the array are identical. In RAID 1 is the capable of much more complicated configuration. The point of the RAID 1 is primary for the redundancy. If you complete lose a drive, you can still stay up the running of other devices. And another one is the RAID 1 diagram showing in this block 1, block 2. In block 1, 2, 3 and 4 equal to block 1, 2, 3 and 4 drive 1 and drive 2. If the earlier drive fails, you can then the release and broken driven with the little to no downtime. RAID 1 also given you in the additional benefit of the increased RAID performance as data can read of any of the drive in the array. The downside are that you will have the slightly high writing latency. Since the data needs to be written to both driver in the array, you will only have a single driver available capacity while the needing two drivers. And RAID 5. RAID 5 क्या होता है? RAID 5 requires the use of the latest three drivers. It combines these disks to protect data against loss of any one disk. The array storage capacity is reduced by one disk. It strips data across the multiple drives to increase the performance, but it also adds the aspect of the redundancy by the distributing parity information across the disk. एक क्या होता है? RAID 5. RAID 5 क्या होता है? इसमें स्ट्रिपिंग विथ पैरिटी अक्रॉस होता है. इसके अंदर ब्लॉक A1 ड्राइव 1, 2, 3 एंड 4 होता है. इसके अंदर आपस में स्विपिंग का काम करता है. एक होता है RAID 6. RAID 6 क्या होता है? RAID 6 इज द सिमिलर टू RAID 5 but the parity data are written to two drives. The use of additional parity enable the array to combine to function even if two disks fail simultaneously. However, this extra protection comes at a cost. RAID 6 has a slower write performance than RAID 5. Benefits of RAID. क्या benefit होता है? The benefit of RAIDs, and first one is the improvement in cost effectiveness, because the lower price discs are used in large number. Another one is the use of multiple hard drives enable RAID to improve the performance of a single hard drive. Increased computer speed and reliability after a crash depending on the configurations. There is increased availability and realizing the RAID with RAID 5 with mirroring RAID array can have two drives containing the same data. It ensures one will continue to work if the other falls. Drawback of RAID. क्या ड्रॉबैक्स हैं? RAID has the following drawbacks. Nested RAID level are more expensive to implement than the traditional RAID level because they are required many disks. Cost per gigabit of the storage device is higher for the nested RAID because many of the drivers are used for the redundancy. When a driver fails, the probability that another drive in the array will also soon fail, which would likely result in the data. This is because all the drivers in a RAID array are installed simultaneously, and RAID levels such as the RAID 1 to 5 can only sustain a single drive failure. Then when the RAID was implemented, it took a lot longer to rebuild F. तो दोस्तों ये था आपका RAID. अब हम नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में पढ़ेंगे फाइल सिस्टम और कैश मेमोरी. तब तक आप लोग मेरे साथ बने रहिए, सेफ रहिए, सुरक्षित रहिए. नमस्कार.